Right into our 17 newsmakers. Every morning we try to bring you the latest on research and ask questions of Dr. Kothary, the Chief Medical Officer for Dignity Health of the Central California Division. He's joining us again this morning to talk about the latest for the coronavirus here in Kern County and across the nation as well. Dr. Kothary, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Maddie.
All right, we just showed the graph here of the new cases in Kern County. I want to show that one more time and have you kind of talk about what we're seeing, because we've heard so much about this curve. So this is the curve here in Kern County as it continues to rise. 2 days ago, we saw the biggest one-day spike with those 70 cases that were diagnosed. Yesterday, we saw a drop with only 20 new cases diagnosed. Can you kind of talk about what we're seeing here and where we can expect this to go in the following days?
You know, what we're seeing is a linear rise in these cases. You know, yesterday what happened, maybe it was a good sign. I'm cautiously optimistic that this may continue to trend down, but I have a feeling with the number of cases pending that it will continue to rise, unfortunately.
Let's talk about those. Sorry, go on.
I would expect these numbers to continue to increase.
Okay, so you think that yesterday was kind of a blip. It was a drop, a good thing, but not necessarily, we're not seeing our trend on the downward trend now. Yeah,
we need more than 1 point to make a trend, so.
Okay. All right, so we'll continue to track this, of course. Let's talk about those pending tests you just mentioned. There are 3,148 pending tests, and we've noticed every day that the number of pending tests is going up. Does that kind of indicate a backlog? More people are getting the tests faster than they can return the tests?
I believe so. I think a lot of these tests are going to our partners, to Quest Labs and to Westpac. I think that's where the backlog is happening. A lot of our hospitals in Kern County have started doing their own in-house testing. Bakersfield Memorial's already started as of Monday, so they're doing some testing in-house. So we're processing those tests a lot faster. So the tests that you see pending are definitely from the outside labs.
And we know that there are multiple different tests for the coronavirus and that they take different times depending on which test they are. Some take several days. Now there are some that just take minutes. Which tests are we using here in Kern County?
So the one at Bakersfield Memorial takes a few minutes. I know, and that's for our inpatients only. It's not meant for any outpatient testing. The one that we're using at Quest and Westpac are taking, I think it takes up to 4 hours to run. Unfortunately, they're so backlogged that it's taken several days for them to return the test back. A lot of the counties and a lot of the states are now getting the quick, rapid turnaround tests.
We now have 562 cases here in Kern County. Are we a hot zone yet?
You know what? Luckily, no. And the hot zone is not only based on the number of cases, but the number of deaths associated with those cases.
Now, you have said that we won't get more tests and a really big influx of tests to be used here in Kern County until we're considered a hot zone, and that we don't really have a definition of what that looks like by state standards or health department standards or anything. But what would being a hot zone look like to you as a doctor working on the front lines?
You know, it'd be a lot of chaos. You know, we'd see a lot of influx of patients that are very sick typically. 60% of the patients that are admitted to the hospitals end up in the intensive care unit. So a lot of very sick people. You know, in working the front lines, it's a little nerve-wracking to see stuff like that come through.
What do you think it would look like as far as the data, number of cases and number of deaths here in Kern County?
Well, being a hot zone, we would see a very large increase in the number of deaths and in correlation the number of cases as well.
Okay, so again, not there yet, which is good. We're very grateful for that, and very grateful for those of you who continue working in those circumstances.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a bonus, you know, and like I said, I'm very cautiously optimistic that these numbers will continue to decline, and especially the number of deaths. If we can keep the number of deaths down, I think we're way ahead of everybody else.
Let's also talk about the new therapy that's being explored right now. We have the very first person today here who has survived COVID-19 who will be donating their plasma to then be used to treat those in very serious condition. Can you talk a little bit more about this therapy? How does it work? Who gets that plasma, and what has been seen so far as results?
So we're basing the results off of a study done in China, and it was, you know, some really, really sick people where they had nothing else to offer them, and they tried this convalescent plasma, and the majority of those patients actually turned around within 7 days. So the basic logic and science behind this is the plasma that is being donated currently has the antibodies that will help fight the COVID virus in the person that is currently infected with the virus. So you give them the antibodies help fight the virus, and logically, theoretically, they get better.
And we do have the first person who is donating that plasma today. So how quickly will it be used on local patients? And will it be used on local patients?
Yes, absolutely. It will be used on local patients. What we have to do is we have to submit a form to the FDA, which we do right away, and it takes about 6 hours to get approval from the FDA. And then we submit a form to what we call our research board, and that takes just a few hours, and then we can go ahead and give the plasma. And these patients have to be extremely ill, and to be able to get this. You can't just give this to people that are walking, talking.
Mm-hmm. Are there patients here in Kern County right now who are in that position and need this plasma?
I believe they are.
Okay, so so that could be within a matter of days that this plasma is then turned around to be starting to be used in these local patients.
Absolutely, and I think that's critical to have something like this under our belt. Just an additive tool that we can use in this fight.
Are you excited to see it happen?
I'm extremely excited. I think, these people of Kern County are really going to come together now. This is our time to come together to help save everybody else around the world even. If, we're one of the few sites that's starting to do this early. A lot of the other states have started, but have not really kicked up on this.
All right, Dr. Kothary, we are out of time. We always seem to have more questions than we have time to get to during a segment, but you've been joining us every day. You've been so kind, and we appreciate it. We will see you again tomorrow morning here on Sunrise.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay.